The story of Anakin Skywalker's fall serves as a sobering lesson of the dangers of emotional attachment, drawing on themes from the compelling Star Wars series and the age-old wisdom of Stoic philosophy. Imagine being so in love with someone that you would sacrifice anything, even your soul, to keep them from leaving. This was the tale of Anakin Skywalker, who, in a last-ditch effort to keep his beloved Padme alive, turned to the dark side. However, what occurs when our worst fears come true? When our very object of attachment escapes our grasp? Anakin's dread of losing everything is severe, but it's a worry that many people have, and we frequently go to tremendous measures to retain the people or things we care about in our lives. This is not merely a story from a distant galaxy. Rather, it is a significant human predicament that is reflected in Stoic principles. We will explore the depths of human attachment and loss as we explore the teachings of Stoicism today. We will look at how its ideas might be implemented as concrete guidelines for separating from people and circumstances. Thus, I implore you to stick with us through to the very finish and use each step as a practical knowledge guide to aid you in navigating the frequently choppy seas of interpersonal relationships and emotions. Step 1. Get away from them for a bit. Sometimes the best course of action is to take a step back, not to fill a vacuum, but to acquire perspective. Imagine yourself at a lively party where people are chatting, the music is loud, and you're trying to make out a friend's whisper in the background. It's difficult, isn't it? That's what happens when we get overly attached to someone or something. Like the cacophony of a party, our emotions stifle reason. It's like leaving the party to enter a more peaceful area where you can hear and reason properly when you take a step back. Seneca famously remarked, "As often as you sojourn, return to yourself." Seneca's deep insight encompasses not just physical space, but also mental and emotional space. Taking a step back allows us to examine our sentiments when they obscure our vision. Much-way clouds drift across the sky and enable us comprehend they are not a part of us. This distance is a method to look at the circumstances and our responses to them without becoming icy. It's not only about the chess piece you're holding, it's about viewing the chessboard. You don't need a country villa like the ancient Stoics did to implement this now. It might be as easy as going for a walk, shutting off your phone for an hour, or just sitting quietly in a room. Finding a quiet place where your thoughts aren't overpowered by life's incessant bustle is the aim. We find the ability to make decisions based on inner wisdom and reasoned reasoning, rather than on the spur of the moment when we are alone. Taking a step back is a powerful gesture that gives you room to breathe and see past the immediate situation. Step 2. Think about why it makes sense to distance yourself. Divorcing someone is a deliberate procedure that reflects the virtue and reason that characterize Stoicism. It's not a snap decision. Consider your life like a boat ride. The individuals in your life are comparable to the currents and winds. While some steer you toward calm waters, others assist you in sailing effortlessly. It is at this point that you, the captain, must choose which winds to use and which storms to stay away from. This choice is about guiding your life in a direction that is consistent with your beliefs and well-being, not about avoiding. Epictetus was a Stoic who became wise after escaping slavery, and he frequently emphasized the significance of forming relationships that support our inner freedom. We can learn a great lesson from his life. Not everyone we meet in life is a positive influence. Some throw shadows that make us less radiant. Consider your relationships like you would a pair of mirrors. What do you see in return from them? Happiness, development and comprehension, or uncertainty, unease and shock? Distancing yourself from someone is a conscious decision made with self-preservation and moral integrity in mind, not an act of abandonment. Warm wisdom is what Stoicism is all about, not cold logic. It challenges us to think about whether the person in question brightens our lives like a melody or casts a shadow like an unharmonious note. Not only is it about the individual, but it's also about how you see their influence on your life. As Epictetus once said, we are not disturbed by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens. Keep that in mind as you consider this. Are they a little detail that detracts from your trip, or are they a chapter that propels you forward? The choice to put oneself on a distance ultimately comes down to writing a life narrative you can be proud of. It's about staying loyal to your path, your principles, and yourself. Stoicism encourages us to gently let go of connections that don't enrich our story and to embrace those that do. It's about weaving a life in which each person and event is a purposeful, considered stitch to the fabric of who you are. Step 3. Speak with a trustworthy person. Everything's time to reach out when life seems like a jigsaw puzzle and you're having trouble piecing everything together. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of connections, even as it promotes inner strength. Finding an anchor in turbulent waters is akin to conversing with someone you can trust. It's more important to obtain perspective and clarity than to dump our issues on someone else. Consider it as having a co-navigator on your life's journey, someone who guides you when your own compass is a little wrong. Seneca saw the value of collective wisdom because of his profound comprehension of human nature. He likened a friend like a mirror, reflecting back to us not just our outward appearance, but also our deepest secrets. It's not only about seeing ourselves clearly that matters in this introspection, it's also about knowing our way. Opening up to someone means more than just exchanging words. It's like giving them a peek into your inner life and your thoughts and feelings. This sharing fosters an environment of support and understanding amongst people, where ideas are shared rather than just condolences. Pick a confidant carefully, someone who lives up to the principles you want to follow. This person serves as a sounding board for you, guiding you as you process your emotions and ideas. Sometimes all you need is for somebody to listen to you. They don't even need to solve your issues. They serve as a constant reminder that you are not traveling alone. As you discuss your ideas, you may discover pearls of insight in their answers, tiny morsels of knowledge that alter your perspective. The lesson of Stoicism is that it is best to face life's obstacles with a clear head and an encouraging group of people. This group includes your selected confidant, proving that strength frequently arises from unity. Recall that severing ties with someone or something does not imply severing all human connections. Indeed, it is precisely these relationships that offer the fortitude and perspective required to maneuver through the intricate fabric of life. Your chats with this person you can trust are more than simply small talk. They serve as a means of achieving comprehension, a route to clarity, and a stabilizing force amidst life's shifting waves. Step 4. Set boundaries with your emotions. Being able to navigate our emotional terrain like a captain through a storm is analogous to mastering it. Our emotions are like the waves, strong and occasionally overpowering. Instead of teaching us to run from these waves, Stoicism teaches us how to ride them wisely and well. It's about understanding when to pilot our ship firmly and when to let the waves carry us. Though they are normal, our emotions have the power to sway us from the course we have chosen if they are not restrained. The challenge is to ride these waves without allowing them to overturn our boat. With his great knowledge of the human soul, Epictetus serves as a helpful reminder that our problems are not caused by objects, but rather by the perspective we adopt towards them. Having this viewpoint is essential for setting emotional limits. It is similar to having a mental gatekeeper that welcomes all guests, or our feelings, but prevents any of them from taking over the home, which is our inner serenity. For example, when anger comes knocking, we know what causes it, but we don't let it sit at our table and control what we do. It's about talking to our emotions, recognizing where they belong, and gently directing them so they don't get in the way of our reason. It's not about suppressing sentiments, but rather controlling their power. In practical terms, setting limitations could mean giving yourself a window of time to feel a certain way. For the next hour, I'll allow myself to feel upset about this, and then I'll focus on solutions. Like a tightrope walker who recognizes the height but concentrates on the rope, it's a balancing act. We respect our emotions without making them our slaves when we act in this way. We experience, we comprehend, and then we gently nudge ourselves back toward equilibrium and reason. The goal of this approach is moderation, similar to how you would add the perfect amount of sugar to your tea, enough to taste, but not too much to overpower. It is not about repression. Step 5. Give careful thought to the possible repercussions of removing yourself. When you find yourself at the intersection of detachment, pause to consider both options. Being stoic is about making deliberate decisions rather than acting on impulse. Consider every road as a potential future with a distinct result at every turn. What awaits you on the distance-taking path? Will it leave a wake of regret and lost chances, or will it provide serenity, development, and a better sense of self? This kind of foresight is more about wisely preparing for the future than it is about making specific predictions about it. The Stoic habit of considering past experiences to guide future judgments is echoed by Marcus Aurelius, a man who once pondered, "Look back over the past, with its changing empires that rose and fell, and you can foresee the future too. Consider previous instances in which you withdrew yourself. What were the results? Was there clarity and calm in that area, or was there loneliness and regret?" These insights can serve as a roadmap for navigating the future by helping you learn from the past. Lastly, think about how your choice will affect other people. The practice of Stoicism helps us to weigh our demands against the larger good. When you distance yourself, are you advancing your own development and making a good difference in the lives of others? Or could you be creating hurt or misunderstanding? This is a step toward harmonizing your well-being with the environment, not simply your own interests. It's similar to watching where you walk in a garden and making sure your steps encourage growth rather than squash the blossoms. In the Stoic conception, detachment is an act of wisdom, a well-considered choice that takes into account not only oneself, but also the complex web of ties in which we are all entangled. Step 6. Take a vacation from social media. Imagine your thoughts as a calm lake. Consider social media as persistent showers that disturb the otherwise serene surface. The constant messages, updates, and comparisons that sabotage our tranquility are these droplets. The ageless wisdom of Stoicism, a philosophy that flourished long before the digital era, is nevertheless applicable to handling such disruptions. Social media is perhaps one of the many needless distractions of modern life to Seneca, who pondered life's fleeting nature. This level of separation is therefore about recovering our time and attention, about choosing where to put our valuable energy. As he once brilliantly observed, life is long if you know how to use it. In the social media age, everyone is vying for our attention. By taking a step back, we're allowing our thoughts room to breathe, ponder, and just be, in addition to avoiding a digital overload. Shutting the curtains on a busy street outside your window is what it feels like. The bustle, the loudness, the never-ending movement, all of it is still present, but for a brief period of time, it is not your worry. You have time to think, to comprehend, and to develop in your own private haven. This social media hiatus is a self-care practice rather than a means of escape. It's about identifying the things that energize and deplete us. Take note of how your mental environment has changed as you take this respite. Do you feel more at ease in the now and conscious of your own emotions and thoughts? Stoicism is fundamentally about realizing what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. It's about realizing that even though we can't stop the rain, we can choose to walk behind cover so we can hear the drops falling without getting wet. In the modern world, taking a vacation from social media could seem like getting off a fast-moving train. It's calm and peaceful, but clarity can be found in this quietness. When you take this break from social media, keep Seneca's advice in mind and make good use of your time. Take a walk, read a book, write in a journal, do things that feed your spirit rather than just passing the time. Use this time off to get back in touch with who you are. This is your time to step back from the crowd and embrace your true self in the stillness. Step 4. Consciously concentrate on your basic necessities. As you take your last step towards dissociation, focus on the center of your being. This is the core of Stoicism, concentrating on the things that are actually important for your personal development and welfare. It's about removing the unnecessary, the clutter, and the extraneous elements to focus on what feeds your soul. This goes much deeper than material needs. It has to do with moral rectitude, personal development, and emotional support. Consider your life to be a garden. What does it require to flourish? Sun, water, and tenderness. These are the necessities. In the same way, determine what is necessary for your spiritual and emotional development and give these areas your whole attention. Given his difficult upbringing, Epictetus recognized the value of concentrating on the important things in life. His teachings emphasized the importance of having the ability to recognize and separate the good from the bad in our life. Apply this information to your emotional landscape. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Understanding what you require to feel content, secure, and at peace is key. It's realizing that, on occasion, less really is more. It's about finding contentment in depth and simplicity in a world full of distractions and limitless options. In real terms, this is pausing to consider what truly brings you contentment and tranquility. Is it spending quality time with yourself, having deep talks with friends, or doing a hobby? Determine which of these essential needs to prioritize. It's similar like packing for a trip. Just include items that will make your trip more worthwhile. Detaching from situations and individuals that don't meet your basic needs is much easier with this intentional attention. You build stability and contentment into your life by making these needs the focal point of your existence. This is a continuous process rather than a one-time assignment. It is a regular reminder of what really counts. Continue to review your basic needs as you go through life, readjusting and realigning them as you develop and mature. This concentration serves as your compass, helping you to navigate the intricacies of life with purpose and clarity. It's about doing life on purpose, not just getting by. And the essence of Stoicism can be found in this intentional living, a life led with inner serenity, insight, and purpose. The teachings of Stoicism offer us a wealth of insightful guidance and useful suggestions as we set out on the path of disengaging from people and situations. This way of thinking asks us to take a step back, consider why we are putting distance between us, have open discussions, set boundaries for our emotions, consider the consequences of our actions, take a break from the barrage of outside influences like social media, and focus on what is most important. Such deeds are consistent with the virtues of the Stoics. The timeless wisdom of Stoicism teaches us that emotional numbness is not the same as detachment. Rather, it is the achievement of a calm and strong inner state. Stoic principles guide us toward a life filled with virtue, knowledge, and emotional resilience as we meander through the complexities of interpersonal relationships and the hardships of life. Your opinions are welcome in the comments section. Which step feels the most natural to you, or which one would you most likely try? We encourage you to like this video as a way of showing your thanks if you found it useful. Remember to hit the notification bell, share with those you care about, and subscribe if you haven't already, so you can be the first to enjoy our brand new Stoic wisdom films.